Right now, Celebrity Sleaze with Fram.
Lots of outpouring of love for actor, comedian Richard Lewis. Jimmy Fallon taking a moment, Barnes, to remember Richard Lewis, passing away this week at the age of 76.
And you might know him also from Curb Your Enthusiasm. He was fantastic. I just think he's one of the greatest to ever do it. Our thoughts are with his family and friends. We're going to miss you, Richard Lewis.
So sad.
That was Jimmy Fallon. Let's go over to Jimmy Kimmel, where Bob Odenkirk was on, paying tribute to Richard.
Richard Lewis passed away today.
Yeah, great stand-up comic, Richard Lewis.
Yeah, one of the best.
Yeah.
And just such a wonderfully lovely person.
He was so sweet.
Yeah.
He loved everybody and supported everybody.
Did you see Larry David's post?
Yes.
Richard and I were born 3 days apart in the same hospital. And for most of my life, he's been like a brother to me. He had that rare combination of being the funniest person and also the sweetest. But today he made me sob. For that, I'll never forgive him. Larry David.
Just the king of self-deprecating humor, you know?
It's unbelievable that this episode, this current season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, you're just telling me about this one scene. It's unbelievable, the timing of this.
Yeah, this was, a week and a half ago when they were on the golf course. And they cleverly, because I don't think he's very mobile, they had him in the golf cart and Larry was getting out to drive the ball. And they were talking about how Larry was so happy, and then Richard Lewis said he was going to leave him something in his will.
How is something good happening to me?
No one on the planet would believe that you're happy.
How is this possible?
But I have better news for you. I'm leaving you in my will. I'm tweaking it, and you're in it.
No, don't do that.
It's done. You're in.
I don't want to be in it. I have money. I don't need it. Give it to someone who needs it.
When I die, I want you to know how much I care about you.
I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to give it to charity.
You're my best friend. You're getting it.
No, I'm making a Sherman-esque statement about the will right now.
I'm sick of your historical references.
If nominated, I will not run. If bequeathed, I will not accept.
Well, I'm bequeathing.
Well, I'm not accepting.
You'll have to accept.
Don't give it to me.
Don't hurt my feelings.
I'm not going to keep a penny of it.
You're hurting me.
Thank you, but I don't want it.
I'm giving it to you anyway, pal.
Oh, my God. You.
Such sad foreshadowing.
Unbelievable. I have a wild story for you. This is crazy. The screenwriter for the original Roadhouse is suing Amazon.
What?
Going up against Amazon?
For what?
Yeah, R. Lance Hill taking legal action against Amazon Studios and MGM for allegedly infringing on his copyright for the original 1986 film, Roadhouse, claiming that he regained the rights to his screenplay in 2021 after filing a petition with the Copyright Office. But guess what? Amazon proceeded with a remake without his permission. His lawsuit alleges that Amazon used AI to replicate actors' voices during the big SAG-AFTRA strike. Despite him receiving a story by acknowledgement from the WGA, he is seeking to block the distribution of the upcoming remake. It's going to premiere next month on Prime Video.
I wonder what evidence he has of that.
Well, Amazon and the studio are saying that the lawsuit is without merit and that the film does not utilize AI for actors' voices.
Man.
Let's see where this goes.
That could be a landmark. He's got to have something
Think about
to come to the table.
How many more of these stories are going to start coming out?
Yeah. Wow, that's a big
Right?
one.
That's a huge one. Okay, we have another Baldwin in the news, and I'm not talking about Alec Baldwin this time. Fans became concerned when Stephen Baldwin circulated a post of a preacher who he asked for prayers for his daughter, Hailey Bieber.
What?
Now, you know, of course, she's married to Justin. Yeah, the public figure shared a post from Victor Marks. He is the head of All Things Possible Ministries, who asked that his followers, quote, take a moment to offer a little prayer for the celebrity couple. Now, Marks nor Baldwin are giving any explanation for this. Yes, they're hoping, quote, wisdom, protection, and to draw close to the Lord. So is there trouble in paradise?
I can't believe he would leak something like that with his daughter. Yeah.
Let me tell you, I saw that and I was like, whoa.
Stepping out.
What is happening? Because we haven't heard from him, in a while. Okay, Barnes, we got a little dust up here between two people that are very not likely to dust up. I'm talking about Andy Taylor from Duran Duran and Vince Neil from Motley Crue.
Are they going to do a duet? What's happening? What's the dust up?
Andy Taylor revealed a brief dust up with Vince Neil. Seemingly, I don't think they would run in the same circles, but they apparently had a confrontation. Taylor recalled the incident during a conversation with some outlet. He goes, I never had the weird, pervy, effed up experiences that a lot of people talk about. Now, that's Andy talking. The worst blank was with Vince Neil trying to fight with me, and my bodyguards had to sort him out. I don't know what sort him out means. Yeah, he said it turned up with some blanking biker dudes, so they beat the blank out of them as well. Ha, ha, ha. He didn't say when the incident took place at all, but suggested that Vince Neil had a little animosity towards Duran Duran stemming from some remarks that they made during Motley Crue's decision to tour in separate buses.
Well, timing is everything. If it was old Vince Neil, I would believe a fight. If it was new Vince Neil, I would think he's probably trying to eat him. I mean, I don't know which one it would be, or sit on him.
Yeah, well, a lot of bands travel in separate buses, so that is kind of a weird confrontation or a weird statement to make.
Vince Neil's a mess.
Barnes, so much news about T.S., Taylor Swift. Some fans of eventual Super Bowl champs, the Chiefs, they were a little worried about, her massive celebrity. Would it be a distraction to the team? Not only did that not end up being a problem, Dave Merritt, he is the defensive backs coach for the team. He says she even helped.
She actually affected the team in a positive way.
Okay.
All right. It wasn't a negative way. It was everybody was excited that Travis was happy.
It's easy to say when you win the Super Bowl. I'd like to hear that speech had they faltered.
Yeah, they're saying, the coach confessed that Swift's attendance added to their mission during the season. But I don't know if you're following this story that's breaking out of the UK.
What?
Why is it always the UK? Like it's the Daily Sun, the Mirror, whatever. The U.S. Sun is reporting that the NFL is already talking about convincing her to perform at the Super Bowl next year.
Next year?
Yeah, next year.
Now what's going to happen if they break up in between and the Chiefs try to three-peat?
They're saying the advertising budget would be insane because, for her estimated presence helped between, they're saying 700 and 750 million if she were to perform at the halftime. But she wouldn't get paid because, they don't pay performers. They just pay all their expenses.
I know, but that's why I still think there's some kind of deal that this has been brewing and brewing and brewing. They have to have traded money at some point.
But do you think that they're already trying to convince her to play next year's Super Bowl?
Well, one story she's yelling at dude to get out of strip clubs, and then the next, how is that relationship going to make it another year? Or will it? You think it's going to last?
I do. You want to make predictions now? I think this is the real deal.
I give it until July, and then we quietly hear that they faded. Unless there's an NFL deal.
Yeah, mark this date.
Yeah.
Kelly Osbourne, this is a strange story, revealing why she's changing her son's last name after the biggest fight she's ever had with Sid Wilson. Did you know that her boyfriend is Slipknot's Sid Wilson?
I did know that.
Kind of cool that she's dating somebody from Slipknot and her dad's Ozzy Osbourne.
She's always like rockers. Can you imagine, though, that your father-in-law is Ozzy and you're in Slipknot? Yeah.
She said they got in the biggest fight over disagreeing on whether their one-year-old son, Sydney, should have both of their last names. So what'd she do? She went on the Osbourne podcast. I wanted our son to have both of our last names. He wouldn't let me. We had a huge fight. I feel that I was forced into something I didn't want to do. But after lots of eye-opening conversations and some couples therapy, he has seen the light. We are going to legally change our son's name to have both of our last names. Listen, if you're this kid, don't you want everybody to know that your grandpa is Ozzy Osbourne? Come on.
Yeah, well, I maybe.
I love that story. I really do. Somebody's back in the news. Kanye West. The estate of Donna Summer is suing him. What's he going by now, Barnes?
Ye?
Yeah, she's suing Ye. Also suing Ty Dolla $ign on Tuesday for what their attorney says is shamelessly, illegally using her 1977 song, I Feel Love. Remember that song?
Hasn't he?
Love,
yeah,
I feel love.
He's done this before.
Yeah. The copyright infringement lawsuit filed in federal court in L.A. by her husband, Bruce, in his capacity as executor of her estate. She passed away in 2012. It alleges that when the reps of Ye sought permission, they rejected it because her estate didn't want to be associated with all of his controversy.
Well, like the rest of the world, nobody wants to be associated with him. Did you see all the stuff at Fashion Week with his wife?
Yes, naked.
Completely naked.
So it's very sad.
He's just orchestrating that to get attention on him.
So when someone says no, an estate puts the hammer down and you use it anyway?
Yeah, that's going to be big money if he's got any.
Here's another story brewing. I think the internet first is trying to figure out where is Kate Middleton. Did you see that story?
I have lunch with her today.
She hasn't been seen.
Yeah.
You had lunch with her today?
No, I'm having.
Oh.
I've got lunch with Kate Middleton.
Is she okay?
I'll ask her.
The other story is The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, wants to find whoever made Rebecca Ferguson's life so miserable. Now, why is this story coming out right before Dune 2?
Well, you just answered the question.
Yeah. Rebecca Ferguson gave an interview where she shared a harrowing tale about an anonymous, quote, absolute idiot of a co-star who made her life hell on the set back in the day, though she didn't give her best to give permission to this person's identity. The Rock came in and, The Rock was like, I want to find out who this is. Yeah, she said, I remember there was a moment and this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and uncomfortable that I got screamed at. I love that The Rock is coming to her defense.
Would you do the rest of Sleaze in your rock voice? Because that was very good.
I know.
This is Leslie with my rock voice.
Now everybody wants to know who is it. Anyway.
Good timing with Dune opening this weekend.
Yeah, and maybe The Rock will find out who it is. So while they're marking it down, they still look to make a very nice profit. Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott's first property purchase in Beverly Hills. You want to talk about a price drop, Barnes? They bought it in 2018. It's on the market. First purchase for $13.4 million, listing it for just under $18 million. Lowered 3 times. 2022, it was $29.9 million. Then it went to $19.99, and now $17,995. Of course, it's part of that $1 million listing. I don't know if you watched that show.
Well, of course it is, because they're trying to find a buyer. But these huge monstrosities that these celebrities own, they're so hard to turn because there's so much money involved, and they're oftentimes way bigger than the neighborhood. Yeah. There's a house in my neighborhood that is like that. A famous person lived in it, and they're trying to sell it. It sits untouched for the longest time. So I guess that's where these price drops start coming in.
Those are really big price drops, too.
Huge. And this one is going to be the same way. It's a sports person. It's someone in sports that bought it for, big money, and now they're just going to take such a big loss for it.
I have a crazy, crazy story for you. Tish Cyrus, remember, she used to be married to Billy Ray. She married the guy from Prison Break, Dominic Purcell, in August.
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, remember the story about who was and wasn't at the wedding?
No.
Noah, her daughter Noah, wasn't there, and now we might know why. This is insane. Noah was romantically involved with Dominic when her mom started pursuing him.
Mom stole the daughter's boyfriend?
Yes.
Wow.
So the wedding was at Miley's house, and of course, there were armed guards there hired for the ceremony, instructed to keep Noah out.
That family.
Miley, obviously Miley is Team Tish, because remember at the Grammys, she thanked her mom, didn't say anything about Billy Ray. Is that an insane story?
Well, now we piece together why she's bitter on Dad, though, right? So yes. Dad must be Team Noah because he's consoling Noah, saying, your mom stole your man and she left all of us. She left us.
So Noah was dating Dominic Purcell, and now Mom's married to him.
That's cold.
Outpouring of love. You and I have talked about this for Richard Lewis. This is from Larry David. Richard and I were born 3 days apart and in the same hospital. And for the most of my life, he's been like a brother to me. He had that rare combination of being the funniest person and also the sweetest. But today, he made me sob. And for that, I'll never forgive him. Now, you know Cheryl Hines, that's also on Curb. I don't know if you've been following this story. She was on Watch What Happens. She says the night that Larry David said that he can't support her husband, Robert Kennedy Jr. Remember, she's married to Robert Kennedy Jr. They actually had dinner together that night after he said, I cannot support him. So check this out. She's on Watch What Happens.
I can't support you. Let's go grab a bite. That's such a Larry David
Isn't it weird?
thing to say.
We actually had dinner with him that night.
No way.
Yes.
Was that awkward?
No. And weirdly, it wasn't.
Yeah.
These two have been friends for so long.
Yeah.
And I think when Larry said it, he was being Larry, like, I support him, but I don't support him. And I think, Larry and Bobby are like, yeah, okay.
Could totally see that. I support you, but I don't support you.
Yeah. Can we have dinner?
Freaking love that show.
That's your Celebrity Sleaze.